Hello and welcome to another video where this time we're going to be doing something slightly different. Now I'm modding another Game Boy. This time it's my old Gameboy Color. It's sort of changed colour a bit over the years. It was a lovely bright green. It's going sort of a yellowish hue to it now where the plastic's degrading. So we're going to put this in a nice new case, which I've purchased from our friends at Retro 6 again, because the quality of their cases, I've got to admit, is much better than any of the other cases I've had so far. So I'm going to stick with these guys because it seems their product is of the best quality so far. So thumbs up to them again. We're going to put this to one side though, because we're not going to use him. Some keycaps, buttons and bits and bobs there. So put that to one side. We won't need this. I've also got, unfortunately not from Retro 6 because they didn't have any stock at the time, I bought the Gameboy Color screen kit, which should just theoretically drop straight into the machine with minimal fuss. We're hoping this will be one of the easiest ones I've done so far anyway. I've also, from Retro 6, had some new, that should have been in with the case, I probably put that there by accident. I've had a new glass front because the screen in the new Game Boy will be slightly smaller than what's already in there. And that should all come together quite nicely and make that be the fourth or the fifth Game Boy now, with only one accident at the beginning. So that, you know, this is a good start. So I'm going to get on, get the right screwdriver bit in, take this little lovely to bits, give her a clean, swap the screen and see what happens. So here we go. Back off. There we go. So on the inside, yeah, they've done it. It looks like we've got 1, 2, 3 posi bits there to remove. So let's just get on with that. Put those to one side. This time round, I am not getting the spudger out and I am not tapping the screen, because that really annoyed me on that Game Boy Pocket to such an extent. Let me get this. Hang on. To such an extent that I went out and I bought a new glass screen bezel because that frustrated me. I can't believe I did that. There you go. So anyway, let's get these posi bits out. So again, ribbon cable there. As always with these, just pop the 2 plastic clips up at the side. I'm winging this now because I watched a video a few weeks ago when I was buying the parts, and I've not done anything since. So I'm pretty accustomed to the inside of a Game Boy now. I'm pretty sure it's all going to be laid out very similar to the Game Boy Pocket, just a little more up to date, I'm guessing. So that should just lift straight out. There we go. Everything on one board now. Well, 2, but piggybacked. That's quite nice. Design's getting better. You wait till we get onto these smaller ones. Right, so these can come out, go. I was going to clean them up and put them back in, but I do have new. So, I mean, we could just leave them in because the case is going. But in ease, got to remove them so we can get the screen out. Right, there we go. All those can go to one side for now. We shan't be needing those. And pretty much like all the others, I'm sure. Oh, there you go. There's a bit of plastic off the battery cover. I'm pretty sure that just like all the others, twist, twist, pop, pull. Let's do it. Yep. Yep. That's how you get him away. I know we're not going to use this case, but getting the screen out seems relatively easy after all these years. The glue's dried up, it just cracked and away it comes. This Game Boy Color screen. So even though we're not going to use this case, I just thought I'd try it, just see how easy it comes out. Pretty much the same as the Game Boy Pocket. So next should be relatively easy. Case of putting the screen into the new case for a start. We just need to know which way round that's going to go up in there. Unless this Retro 6 one is modified to take a larger screen, in which case I may have to come up with a way of fixing it in. Nope, it's the same, so this screen should just drop straight into the machine. I would like to think that the ribbon cable is one way up or the other. I can't remember, so I might just plug all this in, drop some batteries in quick, work out what the orientation of the screen is, because if I put it in upside down, it's not going to be good, is it? It's not going to be good. So there's all your pieces. Looks like we've got a touch sensor for the brightness of the machine, much like we had in the Neo Geo Pocket. But because I put that in a transparent case, it worked through the case pretty well. I'm thinking on this one, there's a good chance that once the PCB's in, it's going to drop somewhere around the infrared slot, maybe, or even just be tactile enough to use it through a case. But it doesn't matter because this is a transparent case, so if I run into problems, I can just hopefully make it like the Neo Geo and work that way. But we'll see. So I think the first things first, we might have to just drop this into here for now. I mean, it's probably going to stay in there, but shouldn't we plug some cables in first? Yeah, that's the idea. So first things first, you should go into the top. Click, click, down it goes. This again is just at the moment to make sure the screen goes in the correct way up, as the kit came with no instructions, and a lot of the modification videos you see online tend to be the larger IPS screen that I put into my DMG. So I've got a funny feeling that if I don't check this first, I'm going to end up putting it in the wrong way or plugging it into the wrong port on here and causing all sorts of problems. Looks like it's in. Looks like we're in. Not sure. It doesn't go into the plug very far. I didn't want to force it, so leave it where it is for now. If it is in far enough, then that's okay. If it's not in far enough, then we know to apply a little more force just to get that in there. Same looking at this board, it looks like the gold connector is going facing down. Lovely. Right, so just drop this into the Game Boy for a second. Just enough to get two batteries in there. Sorry, Mr. Neo Geo, we're going to have to borrow some batteries. We can return them later on. But at the moment, just want to make sure that this power's on. So the correct orientation for the screen is going to be cable out of the bottom. Looks like folded up the back and over. A little similar to the way they sandwiched it into the Neo Geo in the end. So that's pretty good. We just need to switch that off. Where the little switchy is. There he is on the other side, wasn't he? So we know which way round that goes together. But in order to get the screen to the front, you would probably have to fold that over like that. To get that in the case. Now, as it's physically smaller than what I had, but not by a great deal, we should be able to get this in, hopefully without it rattling around inside the case. Who knows? But for now, we'll just unplug this one so we don't have everything flapping around. no, that's plugged in. We need to orientate this. So the bottom of the screen is literally the bottom of the screen. This kit did not come with any spacers, so I may have to do something quite crude temporarily in order to wedge this in the centre. Most kits, because I didn't buy any sort of a kit from a reputable outlet, it didn't come with everything you need. I'm sure if many other places did them, they will come with plastic spacers. But for now, I'm going to have to find something to wedge in there temporarily in order to finish this mod. So let's go and just find something really quickly. So if I can get it all in position, I might just drop, possibly dab a hot glue in each corner maybe, just to keep it central. But for now I want to work out it all folds together so I can get to that point. So this may be just a very fast forwarded bit of me just messing with this while I work out the best orientation for everything. Okay, so I've got Gluey Louie out, he's warming up. I'm going to temporarily try and fix the screen in the centre just while I do this, or as central as I can, so it looks like through the viewing window you can see just a sliver of each side of that. So I'm a little impatient and I'll squeeze the glue through. Hopefully that's not bled through onto the screen. And as that dries, it'll hold it just where I want it. So I'm just going to take the tape off now the glue's dried. And the screen immediately pops out. But that's not the reason I put this in. I've used them kind of like spacers, so it should hold relatively central to where I wanted it. And once I get some proper spacers, the glue can just be picked off. But I've started, so I'll finish. There's slivers of it everywhere. Well, that's pretty cool. Almost central, not bad. Done in a budget mode by eye, because I wasn't expecting, because the kit just came with the screen, I would have assumed it was dropped in. In this case it didn't drop in, so I had to get Gluey Louie on the job. I mean, once that's dried, it's not going to show through the case, because clearly once you've got the cover on, that's going to cover any areas I've glued, so not too worried there. Just as long as it stays in, so I won't, I won't even have to get spacers if this goes in correctly and stays in place. It can stay there for all I care after that, as long as my Game Boy survives in its new case. So we'll assemble this again now that everything is in position. So it looks like your sensor does plug into the top, and the top of the Game Boy, if I'm not mistaken, was the infrared port, which I don't seem to see. I wonder if we dropped out the old case and I lost him, because we seem to have a placeholder there. I'm sure the infrared was slightly transparent. So in the chaos, I missed a part of the Game Boy falling off, which I'm going to have to try and find. Here he was on the floor. So we're going to use the original infrared port. Yeah, and it does look like that's designed to just fold straight into it, just like all the others, go straight into the PCB. So once that's all folded over, yeah, that's going to poke up into the infrared port. I thought it would. In. Right, so once that's folded over, yes, he's going to nest nicely in the infrared port at the top of the machine, and that all fits lovely and flush. So I don't see this is going to be a horribly tight mod to put together. I can just see which side of the touch sensor was the touch sensor. This was the issue with the Neo Geo. Do I fold it forward into the port like that, drop this in? Because if that's the case, that is just fantastically easy. Let's get that back out again a second. I'm just going to whip the back on quick, put some batteries in, make sure we've done this right, and then come right back. We're not screwed together properly, so it's going to spring around a bit. You can see the PCBs in there nice and straight behind it, only just showing around the edges. Just flick this on. The screen's in the correct way up, and everything is good. Everything is good with the world. Okay, so it looks like one of the ones I put inside is in the wrong place. So, without further ado, it looks like I've got to move him to there. Sorry, that was also camera meets floor. Hey! Told you I need to get a better rig than a phone stood on a shonky tripod. Two batteries in we go. New battery cover on. And I'm quite happy that I have got no fingerprints on my screen. So time for the finishing touch, which will be in here. Just to bring it all together, I've got the smaller screen. Very nice peeler sticker there. All the others you have to pick away at the centre, but that's got a nice tab you can remove, and it also leaves the battery light so the LED can shine through. I'm having a problem peeling. There we go, in. I'll just give that a quick wipe to get those fingerprints away, and to also stick it down. And stick a cartridge in, and the power button I remembered to put in, and we're on. See if we can get that in. Turn this light off. Click. There we go. quite difficult trying to play this through the thing you're filming it on. The D-pad feels lovely. That's nice. Okay, so I'm not too great at this, but there we go. That does look a lot better. So there we have it. The Game Boy Color. So there we have it. My journey is complete. I've modified the majority of my childhood handhelds. I've had a lot of fun along the way. I've learned a lot about how these things work and go together, and especially how they can go wrong. But it was a hell of a lot of fun. I feel that I want to do more of these, but at the moment I've got no more that I can do. Other than my Toy Links and my Sega Game Gear, but they tend to be very difficult mods, so I'm not sure my skill set's quite there yet. I want to get there, I want to get them done. But if this shows anything, it shows that you can do this yourself. You can upgrade these yourself. I knew virtually nothing in the beginning about putting these machines together and upgrading them, and I've had a lot of success along the way. Unfortunately, not the first time, which is what spurned this all off. The first video was merely me documenting what I wanted to do to this old handle for myself. So a lot of that was missing. The failure part was missing. But where I picked up the pieces and where it took me to since, I've really enjoyed the ride, and I hope you guys have too. I want to keep doing more mods to machines or upgrades or repairs, so like and subscribe. There might be some more stuff in the future, in the near future should I say, because I've got a few more projects in the pipeline I could be doing, and a little repair I need to get out of the way. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.